What liens typically have to be paid out of an Illinois car accident settlement? Hi, I'm Josh Rohrscheib. I'm a personal injury lawyer in Central Illinois. And when we handle car accident cases for our clients, one of the things that we work on for the client would be the liens that various entities might have against their settlement. Now, a lien is a right to be repaid certain money out of the settlement. And in this video, I'll speak to the most common types of liens. For all of these, I'd like to point out that your injury lawyer should make an effort to negotiate reductions in the liens for you. There are different rules of law and statutes that can help for negotiating down liens. And one reason to work with a lawyer who exclusively practices personal injury is lawyers who are well-versed in personal injury law are much more likely to be up on all of the different tools available to help reduce the liens that would come out of your settlement. So the most common lien types. First would be provider liens. So this may be an ambulance company, a hospital, a surgeon. This is a lien that arises when some kind of a medical provider provides care for you, and they have a right, they assert a lien, and if they perfect the lien correctly, they'd have a right to have their bill paid out of your settlement. Often providers will try to assert a lien instead of billing your health insurance. You're almost always better off, at least in Illinois, if we are able to get the provider to bill your health insurance first instead of asserting a lien, because your health insurance will typically have significant discounts negotiated for you with that provider. But the provider may assert a lien, and at the end of your case, we would typically try to negotiate reductions on provider liens. In Illinois, there's a law called the Healthcare Services Lien Act that is a very powerful tool for injury victims in having their liens negotiated down. All right, the next most common lien would be one from your health insurance company. And your health insurance company, in your contract with them, will have what's called a subrogation right, or basically a right to be repaid if they paid out money for your care and you receive a settlement from a third party that caused the injuries that required that care. They have a right to be repaid for what they actually paid out on your behalf from that third party settlement. So a couple things to kind of keep in mind here. This is another kind of lien where we can typically negotiate a significant reduction for you, but it does depend on the plan, like how much of a reduction we can negotiate for you. Also, in some cases where the settlement isn't coming from a third party, but maybe coming from your own uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured motorist coverage, in some health insurance plan languages, they have a right to recover from a third party, like an at-fault driver, but they may not have a right to recover against your own policy. So that's an important thing to check. Also, in many cases, if the injury victim is a minor, we can get the health insurance's lien waived by the company that handles their subrogation claims. Okay, the next kind of lien that we see most often in car accident cases is something called a Medpay lien. So Medpay coverage is insurance coverage on your own auto policy that it's no fault coverage. So whether the accident was your fault or someone else's, they'll provide a certain amount of coverage for your bill. We usually see probably more than any other coverage amount, $5,000, but there's also, could be 10, could be 25, could be 50. Could only be 1,000, and some folks don't have MedPay coverage at all in their policy. But if, let's say, your auto insurance company pays out $5,000 towards your medical bills, and you get a settlement from a third party or from the at-fault driver who hit you, in your insurance contract with your own auto insurance company, they have a right to be repaid for what they paid out for your medical bills under that MedPay policy from any sum that you recover from a third party. Now, if there is no third party recovery, they don't have to be repaid. They're just providing that coverage for you. But if you have a settlement with a third party, they'd have a right to be repaid, and they usually assert a lien that would come out of your settlement. We've had a lot of luck negotiating reductions in those, and in some situations we've even been able to get the auto insurance company to waive the Medpay lien. But anyway, so these are probably the three most common types of liens. And though every case is different, and we see other types of liens, like some temporary and long-term disability providers assert a lien against settlements from third parties. That's pretty uncommon, but we've seen it in a few cases. And there are other types of liens that come up from time to time. But these are the main ones. So if your lawyer is talking about working on reducing your liens, this is kind of what they're talking about. Well, hey, if you have any other questions about car accident claims, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video.